Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D Dunn here. I am the average gaming dad. I just dropped a pretty nice gameplay. It's 24, 25 kills using a low zoom sniper and the Kilo as my sniper support. And I thought this would be, since I just got this gameplay and I already got a couple other 20 pluses today, while this is fresh in my mind, I would do like an inside the mind of the average gaming dad, a grizzled Call of Duty veteran, if you will. So we're going to hop into the gameplay. I'm going to try and walk through everything, my thought process, step by step, and hopefully you guys learn something. So let's get into it. All right. So starting off, whenever I drop, I always drop Superstore, and I always hit this same route. I always go through the same door because I know exactly where the boxes are supposed to spawn. I know that I have a potential of 3 boxes right off the rip. That gives me a really good chance to get a usable gun. So as soon as I land, I hit those 3 boxes. I figure out, I quickly grab whatever I get and try and work with that. I primarily, I'm going to look for a sub. I'm going to look for an assault rifle. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. As long as I have 2 fully automatic guns, I'm usually in good shape. Now, I get blessed here with a UAV, and then I continue my route. I go down the bottom floor along the edge of the wall, through these rooms, a couple more boxes. I already have enough for loadout. Since this is, high loot area in this season, there's plenty of red boxes, and generally speaking, I have enough for a loadout and sometimes a UAV. Now, I kill that guy because I saw him with the car, and then I see these 2 guys in the top left, one up, one down. So I'm going to quickly get up the ladder and try and get to these guys as soon as possible. My UAV runs out, but I just remember, 1 top, 1 bottom. Now I hear this guy jump, but then I hear some footsteps. I'm kind of figuring out what's going on. The footsteps were underneath, so I knew the guy. I thought the guy jumped, but then I was like, maybe zip back up. I wasn't quite sure, but I heard footsteps, took a peek, and then decided to peek, get the kill. All right, so then I go down. I hear footsteps off to my left here, so you kind of see me squaring up the door, seeing, waiting. Footsteps. And then there we go. Easy kill. That guy was clueless. Easy money. All right. So now we have, what is that? 15, almost 16 grand in our pocket. It might have been worth it, honestly, to loot another box or 2, try and get a couple $100 more. That way I could have gotten my loadout, a UAV, and a self-revive. Keeping track of your economy, how much money you have, and what you can afford, planning that out before you get to the buy. That way you're not just sitting and, staring at the menu, kind of, oh, can I afford this? Can I not? Have a plan going into the buy station of what you can get. So I got my HDR here. I'm using a 3x zoom. I've just found recently, I was like, we're going to try it. I'm so much better with a 3x than I am with a normal sniper scope even at range. I don't know why. So I pop my UAV. I'm using bird's eye. So not only do I get the up-down arrows of where guys are, but I also get, the direction that they're looking. So I know that there's 2 guys in here stacked on top of each other. They weren't fighting, so likely they're on separate floors. So now I'm just kind of ADS walking, playing a little bit slow because, like I said, I know there's 2 guys here. If I do get into a gunfight, I want to make sure it's a very quick, clean gunfight. That way, if I do get third-partied, knowing that there's 2 guys really close by, then hopefully, I won't be super weak. So I take this guy out. He's clueless because I wasn't making a bunch of audio, and now I'm listening. And again, I knew there was 2 guys here. I'm listening. I'm looking for some sort of audio cue. Just kind of hunting, searching. I think at this point, I didn't hear anything. And so I figure either he's hiding in a corner and I'm going to get shot, in my back trying to go around a corner. And so I come out here. That guy, unfortunate dive right into my crosshair. Now, at some point, I think I heard footsteps on the roof. So I come and check. And looking, and there he is. Just standing still, sniping. Lay him out. Okay, so whenever you're going for a higher kill game, you gotta loot bodies, because the number one thing that you need to do if you're going to get a high kill game and you don't want to rely on just accidentally running into people is UAVs. UAVs are $6 grand. That's why I always run scavenger, so I get that extra $1,000 from the scav packs, and that adds up. So every 6 kills, you get a free UAV on top of what they already have. Now I find these 2 guys fighting. I'm waiting. Boom, that guy's dead. Now I know he was still shooting, and so I'm waiting. There's that guy, easy 2-piece. You know, no problem. Now I know I just said you got to collect all the loot, right? But those 2 guys are very far away from me. It's, you know, maybe they have a bag, maybe not. I don't know. I hear footsteps to my left. I throw a nade to try and get first, damage. Didn't hit anything, so then I peek the opposite direction. Just use my audio cues to pre-aim the corner that he's most likely to come around, and as a little baby bot, free kill. All right, I'm reloaded up. I can't really tell right now. I think that says like 9 kills. Come to loot this guy since I didn't loot him before. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Those other 2 guys that I killed, one over by the gas station and then the other one in the field, they're so far away that it's, unless they have like a tremendous amount of money, which this early in the game, I doubt they do, it's just not worth it. I'm not broke. I don't need the money. And that's going to take, I don't even know, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, maybe even a full minute, which, when you're trying to get high kill gameplays, you are in a race to get as many kills before anyone else gets kills, right? Like that's the goal. You want to take all the kills for yourself. And so if you take a minute, that would, yeah, Baby D Dun is chiming in as well. If you take a minute, that's a minute that you're not hunting down people. That's a minute that you're not, popping UAVs, getting to a buy station. And so it's just really important that you prioritize like, okay, I kill this person close-ish proximity. I'm going to go loot them, get my cash. If they're too far away, just leave them. If they're on top of a giant building and you have to run through 9 flights of stairs to get that scav pack and money, it's not worth it. All right, so 2 guys fighting up top. Come around the corner, pre-aim. He was clueless. Lately, I have been using the suppressor, which is not something that I have done in the past. And it just makes the lower skilled people, maybe people just playing on a TV instead of using their headset, they're just honestly just completely oblivious. So it helps out a lot. Now I popped my UAV just because, I know some people take really careful, cautious use of their UAVs. I tend to not be. I don't want to hold a UAV if I have it. If I pop one and there's like no one around me, and then I go buy another one, I'm not going to immediately pop until I get out. But if you know that there should be some people around you, just pop the UAV, Also, it's crucial if you want high kill gameplays, if you want to drop consistent 20 pluses in solos, you got to run bird's eye. So many people in solos run ghost and almost lose this one. I'm not sure how. I just wasn't quite prepared for it. My centering was not good. That's an opportunity where I just, I actually had to use my right stick a little bit because I wasn't centered properly. And I do manage to get the kill. But anyway, yeah. So basically, if you haven't popped a UAV in a while, just pop one. It's more than likely it's going to lead you to at least one more person. And that one person should hopefully get you close to your next one. So my general rule of thumb is if I got it, use it. If I've popped one and there's just no one in the area, then maybe I'll reserve one. But all right. So again, popped a UAV. I know there's a guy over here. I hear footsteps. And so, for me in Verdansk, people tend to play slower. Aim assist is very strong. The movement is kind of nerfed compared to the Modern Warfare 3 movement. It's just not as fast. And so, I have had to force myself to quit sliding around every corner to challenge everything and to just aim walk it. It just more reliable kills. All right, so I quickly grab the trophy and then I go back and grab the heartbeat sensor. Between the two, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a heartbeat sensor as long as you have decent audio. I'm on PS5. I have like a $30 headset from Walmart, and that is literally taped together. You can probably see on this one right here. You can see this like white strip right there. That's double-sided sticky tape holding the foam pad to my headset. It doesn't take much to have decent audio. You just have to try, I guess, you know. But anyway, if you have decent audio, you don't necessarily need a heartbeat, but it can be, it could be good at times. So that's, and you know, trophy system, if you're going to be flying around in a car, people love rockets, people love spamming, you know, grenades at cars. So almost always grab a trophy nearby if I get one. I get really lucky here that this guy misses me. My grenades are terrible. That is one thing where like specialist is absolutely vital, or is really, really helpful, is that it gives you gun ho, which allows you to throw equipment faster. And I cannot tell you, especially with impacts, how much faster it is to use an impact grenade in the middle of a gunfight when you have gun ho versus when you don't. Honestly, like gun ho is a really, really underrated perk, but it's just not good enough to run all the time compared to the other third-party perks or third-tier perks. All right. So I see this guy shooting on the mini-map. I roll up to the back door, and I know that he's above me because the arrow, there was a little tiny arrow next to, you know, his dot on the mini-map that said up. So I know he's second story or he's on the roof. Don't know which one. I just know he's up. So I'm kind of waiting to see if he's going to peek, see if he's going to look. Make my way up the stairs, and I'm pretty sure I hear him on this floor. I double check my heartbeat sensor, so I know exactly where he is. I'm centered right on the edge. Pops out, all headshots, easy. Poor little level 13. I'm sorry, my friend. Watch this video and get better. It's okay to, you know, ADS walk around corners. It is almost always a terrible idea to crouch walk around a corner, because you then have to go through the animation to go full standing and then sprinting if you take shots and you're trying to escape. Never, ever, ever. I cannot think of one instance in which it is a good idea to crouch walk around a corner. Just not ideal. Never do that. Anyway, so I don't have money, or I think I do have money for a UAV, but I also notice, you know, I'm kind of running low on funds. So if you're, so this is kind of where scavengers come in, right? My rule of thumb is, especially early on, if there's scavengers near you, just grab them. They're not as good as UAVs because obviously you only see one person at a time. But early game, when you just need to hunt someone, or you're just, you know, low on money, grab as many contracts as you can. Bounties are great because they obviously lead you directly to a person. But in the like middle to late game, the supply runs are actually really good, because if you don't have a self-revive, it gives you a free self-revive, and then it gives you a discounted UAV. And with the money that you get from getting the contract, little baby D-Dun is singing to me, trying to chime in. I'm trying to search for his pacifier. But anyway, yeah, just use those contracts, whatever you can do to get a UAV or to find a person. That's what you should be doing to get more kills. So on this, just this last gunfight where I sniped that guy on top of the roof, you know, I pulled up straight to the wall. I strafed over a little bit, just hoping that maybe he would be aimed a little bit off center for me. And he was. So, you know, I knew exactly where he was because he did not move. He did not know exactly where I was because I strafed down the wall a little bit before peeking. That gave me just enough time and advantage to get the kill. Now, I popped the UAV. I know there's guys over here, so I'm going to come over, pop my UAV. I know there's 3 guys. This coming up, I see that there's a guy running at me from behind, then a guy in front of me. I need to kill one of them so I don't get third party. The worst thing that you can do when there's 2 guys coming from 2 directions, as this guy probably should have killed me, but, you know, I prioritized the one with Ghost. That way I could hunt him down while I still had my UAV. But if you have 2 guys from 2 different sides, one of the worst things that you can do is just sit there and like wait for one, because that just opens you up to get third partied immediately from the other person. So if you're in squads and you know that you're between 2 teams, push one, get them out of the way, and then turn around and face the other one. That's what I did there. That's what I would recommend. So I knew coming over here, there was 3 dots on the mini map from my UAV. So there was one up top, 2 below. I killed the 2 below. And then I hop up on the roof and I just start hunting, looking for the guy. I see him there sitting like a gargoyle on the ledge, and I take him out. And this is another one of those instances where like I could definitely go and loot that guy probably in time and still escape the storm, but it's probably not worth it, right? I know when I popped my UAV, there was 3 dots in the area. Bird's Eye also gives you a wider sweep of UAVs. So I know there should be no one in the area. It's not worth it. I need to just get farther into the zone to find more people. I run up here, and this is where I make a very grave mistake. I grab my UAV. Someone pops a precision, and I panic because I get shot. I see the guy. I jump in the car, and then just out of panic, instead of hitting the button to drive, I hit the button to jump out of the car. That left me exposed. At that point, I was like, all right, I'm going to commit to the gunfight, but I had my sniper out on accident. And so it was just a combination of bad things, not having awareness on my part, just panicking and just pushing buttons and, getting myself out of the car into the open. And it cost me right there. So I'm sitting at 17 with 27 left. This could be, I'm thinking this is almost a guaranteed 20, mid 20s probably. And then if all the stars align, maybe, a high 20s. That's what I'm thinking right now. I just need to get through my gulag. Now, when it comes to gulags, my advice is to always go middle and just try to sound hoard. Just try to listen for footsteps, get an idea where people are, and then pre-aim and don't miss your shots. Depending on how they play. If they're pushing you, pre-aim, shoot them when they come around the corner. If they're sitting and you have an idea where they are, slide out and challenge them. So I hear this guy. I'm waiting to see if he's going to peek. I pre-fire, and then as I'm moving, he jumps around the corner and pre-fires me. At this point, I'm like, I'm dead. Luckily, I get behind cover. There was a little bit, I think, of probably some bad connection there. I end up getting the kill. Probably not deserved. I probably should have lost that gulag, but luck fell my way. Now I'm sitting here. What do? I only have $2,000. I can't buy a loadout, which is crucial. It's going to be another like circle or two before I get another free one. So ultimately, I see a supply run, which I know gives me money. It gives me a free self. It gives me discounted options. And there's a car nearby. The one thing about supply runs is that it will take you across the map. And so I land first short of it because I see that car by the tall building, or by the taller building. And so that could very easily be someone that has gone in there with the car, rolled up, gotten out, and now they're just waiting to hold people out from the storm. That's a very common thing. So I am being extra cautious right here. If there was someone here, they very easily could have heard me flying in. And so I am being extra cautious, checking my corners to make sure that, I don't get someone being sneaky. Luckily, there was no one here. I managed to get myself the vehicle, the contract, and then I'm off. Now, at this point, I'm just kind of hoping that no one, tries to challenge me. I don't have any extra plates. I don't have a long-range gun. So I'm just peeking on my way to the buy to kind of see what's going down. Assessing my surroundings. There's a guy driving off to my left. There's a sniper on my right. So I know I have to be a little cautious as I approach this buy, because if it's in line of sight of that sniper, I could get easily taken out. So again, just trying to assess what's going on. There's people fighting in front of me. So I'm just kind of wiggling with the car, trying to figure out if anyone's going to take shots. No one does. And so I come over here. I get my loadout. I spam some plates, hop back in the car, and then just get into some sort of cover with my loadout. So I got the Kilo as my sniper support. I got the HDR with the 3x zoom. Same thing. I got 4 plates to work with. And now I know that there's guys in these 2 buildings in front of me. I know there are because they were fighting when I rolled up. The guy that just shot me, obviously kind of beaming. So I know this guy's pretty good, or at least have some sort of indication. You know, he's shouldering me right there, going back and forth. He's pre-firing. Hopefully you can hear it, like, or you can see on the mini map, he's still shooting. He's doing everything he can to put me down through the wall. So I was like, all right, we got to peek at a new angle. So I come up on the roof. I'm looking. I catch really bad timing right here because I have my heartbeat out and he sees me start shooting. I try again to peek and take a shot. Don't get anything. Now I'm down to one plate. And I have a guy who seems to be pretty good, pretty aware and a decent shot. I know I have to get some plates. The only way to do that right now is pretty much a buy. So I got to smoke the buy, make my way over. I see the sniper glint, so I just quickly back off the buy, duck into cover, get that, throw another smoke, and then I back inside. Could have easily ended for me there if that guy would have just chanced some shots, but he didn't. I don't think I realize it right now. I'm missing a plate. That's a miss on my part. You know, there's another mistake. Again, just trying to slow peek this guy, see if I can just get a lucky headshot. And there's really nothing I can do. I'm in zone. I could, you know, try and run for a car and start driving around the map. You know, those sorts of plays are what are going to take you from getting 20 kills to 30 kills. And that's something that personally I want to work on. But in this instance, I just felt like, you know, I would rather just play it smart, especially with this guy out here, the one that had been beaming me earlier. I figured if I'm in my car, he might be the type of player that could easily take me out of a car or catch me in the open while I'm, you know, in a gunfight. So instead, I just start looking at other people to peek. I managed to get that guy. Again, just my shot is 10 times better with a sniper on a 3X. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. So again, just peeking this guy, and then I actually catch him looking out the other window. I'm trying desperately to get the finish. You know, I'm just shooting at anything. And also with the smoke, that means that he also very, very likely has specialist. So now I know, you know, not only is this guy good, he's pretty sweaty. He's got specialist. I have to hope for a good pull on the zone because trying to run at him is going to be very difficult. And I get very, very lucky that I get zone pull. Now, I see that he has called in his buy. I know that I took his self-revive. So I know that he is about to go run and buy a self-revive. Now, he smokes it. I'm spraying. I'm trying to get the kill. I can't line it up. I get really, really good timing on this guy as he just runs over the corner. You know, I saw the cluster strike coming in. And so to me, that signaled like something's going on over there. So I peek. I just happen to get really good timing and catch that guy running over the hill. There's our 20 bomb. We got that locked down. And I'm thinking if I can just take care of this one other sweat, you know, I have a really good chance of closing out the win. You know, maybe getting another 5, 6, maybe even 7 kills. I have the advantage on positioning. I just need to make sure that I don't run out of plates in case we get into a one-on-one gunfight. You know, I put down the sniper, and now zone's closing in. So I'm just pre-aiming. Where is he likely to come out of? This gives me, you know, a view of all 3, you know, 2 doors in the window. So I'm waiting. All right, there's a smoke. Now I see him jump on the buy. I think he's going to try and make his way up the hill. He does not. And I just get really lucky that he just runs right out in front of me. And I'm able to put him down. And there's a level 1000 out of the lobby. And so now I'm just making my way into zone. I know I need a couple more plates. I need some ammo. So I got that. I'm shouldering, looking for a guy in the window. You know, unfortunately, flinch knocks me off. I think I had the headshot there. Try and peek that angle, but quick fix can be really tough, especially if you're not running tempered. Because when you have to, you know, use the bolt action on the sniper while you're plating, you cannot cancel the plating animation. And so it can be a little cumbersome at times. So it's just something to watch out for. But I know I need some more plates. So I smoke this, go and grab the plates, just get behind some cover, try and bob and weave. I hear some shots. This guy jumps off the roof. I can't really get a clean look at him. He jumps in the car, then out of the car. I run out of ammo. So I'm just going to nade him. I get the down. Then I immediately hear footsteps on my right. Turn. This guy hops in the car. I understand the play. Now I run to finish that guy. All of a sudden it's smoking, it's about to blow, so I got to back off. Now I'm not in the best position right here. I'm really not. Again, footsteps, I'm pre-aiming, get a lot of headshots, put him down. Couple kills, quick succession, trying to loot, keep my plates up. And in retrospect, I'm pretty sure there was a vest back there that I should have picked up for extra plates. I didn't. I also see there's a ton of smokes laying around me, and in a munitions box. So in case there's someone on this hill, I'm just continually spamming smokes. I'm hoping that the gas will go to the wall so I can use that as some sort of cover. I don't get that. It just starts to pull away from me. And so now I know there's a guy on my left, and this is where I make my last mistake. Chucky up on the hill. I don't see him. I thought I was out of smokes, and I wasn't. I should have spammed a smoke first. This guy's absolutely terrible, but he does end up taking me out just because I wasn't aware. I didn't see him on the hill, and I didn't react quick enough to use the smokes because I thought I had used all of mine. I should have, been more aware of what I had available. But there's 24 kills for you guys. Now you guys hopefully have a good idea of the decision-making process. Hopefully you guys got some tips in there. These are things that I think are very easy to apply to your game. A lot of it just comes down to being very aware of your mini-map, having some sort of plan as you navigate the map, and just winning your gunfights. That's pretty much all it comes down to. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one.